Hey, listening audience, my name is Aaron Thomas, joined in the broadcast booth by my partner, Byron Reed, and we are here for basketball action here at CCBC Dundalk. Quickly want to go over to our PA announcer, Rocco Jeppy, as he will be running down the starting lineups for today's contest. Yeah. It's really loud.
Beginning with our visitors from Bryant, Stratton. A 6'6" forward from Norfolk, Virginia, number 20, Jaleel Ferguson. A 6'5" forward from Virginia Beach, Virginia, number 25, Edward Gordon. A 6'7" wing from Norfolk, Virginia, number 4, Greg Hextall. A 6'2" wing from Norfolk, Virginia, number 24, Clayton Lambert. And a 6'1" point guard from Southern Virginia, number 35, Tommy White. Bryant Stratton led by head coach Bryant Bryant. He's assisted by Rocky Shields and Dylan Carter.
I didn't realize the.
And now he's starting lineup for the CCBC. A 6'1" guard from Baltimore, Maryland, number 0, a 6'1" forward from CCBC, number 3, Douglas Farley. A 5'8" guard from Kansas, Virginia, number 11, Curtis Black. A 6'2" guard from Winston-Salem, Maryland, number 12, Nicholas Benson. And the 6'4" guard from Pennsylvania, number 9, Assumption Howard. The Dolphins are led by head coach Bryant White, and he's assisted by Ladies and gentlemen, this time we rise to the floor as we honor America and the men and women of the armed forces with the playing of the Star Spangled Banner.
As soon as he finishes that. Hello? Oh. And we're back here at CCBC Dundalk for the first game of our doubleheader today between CCBC Catonsville and Bryant Stratton. Byron, I saw you over there talking to the coaches. Any keys to victory for either team?
Yes. For Bryant Stratton, keys for them are going to be forcing turnovers on defense by keeping the pressure on, push the tempo when they have the ball on offense, and most importantly, crashing the glass. They're going to want to be glass eaters today. And for CCBC Catonsville, keys for them, they're going to want to play solid defense. If you can't score, it makes it harder to win the game. and they're going to want to push tempo on offense. And key players to watch out for Catonsville are Montague Wright and Douglas Farley.
I spoke to Douglas earlier today. He came up to me and he said, when you say my name, make sure you say it with passion. And we will, young man, as soon as you score a basket. Well, the teams are out onto the court, and it looks like we're ready for the tip. Taking the tip for CCBC Catonsville, number 13, Asante Galloway, and for Bryant Stratton is number 4, Greg Hextall. The tip is controlled by Bobcats. Bryant Stratton is the Bobcats. Number 24 with the pass down to number 25. Edward Gordon. Gordon could not control that pass as it goes out of bounds off his hands. No points, no shot on that possession for the Bobcats. So now the Cardinals of CCBC Catonsville will control the ball. Full court press ran by Bryant Stratton. Easily beaten by the Cardinals. And there he is, Douglas Farley. Really quick off the bat. Gets a pass down low on the block. Puts it in for 2, and he's fouled. So he'll go to the line for one more with an opportunity to make this a 3-point play. He said to say his name with passion, and right there off the bat, he's the first one with a basket.
It makes it easy to say some name with enthusiasm when you score the first bucket of the game. And you know what? That was a really, really quick bucket for Catonsville. They did push tempo on offense, and they got another point on the free throw.
And Douglas Farley makes good on the free points as it makes it a 3-point game now, 3-0. Running the point here for the Bobcats is number 25, Edward Gordon, or 35, correction. Gordon over to White. White now controls the ball. Passes it over to Gordon, or Lambert, correction. Lambert with the shot. Rebound finally brought down by Farley, who passes it over to Wright. Wright now pushing, has numbers, throw, alley-oop up, and he can't finish it. Oh, an absolute beautiful pass and an opportunity for Galloway to put on himself on the SportsCenter's top 10 plays. But he can't get the dunk down. And in transition there was Akini White for the Bobcats, who brings it to the basket. He gets fouled in the act of shooting, as that will be an and one. He'll have an opportunity to tie this game up. So our first 2 baskets, fouls on those baskets. Now we have an opportunity to tie the game up.
And they were also quick baskets as well. Off of that missed alley-oop attempt there, Bobcats pushed the ball off the floor and got a quick, easy, well, it wasn't really easy, but they got a chance at more points after that layup went in.
Well, this foul shot will be easy. And it is. We now have a 3-3 game here early in the first half. And a kick ball by the Bobcats. A lot of yelling there on the sidelines from Coach White of the Catonsville Cardinals. He wasn't happy with that inbounds play. The Cardinals beat the press there easily now. Galloway puts it up, can't get the shot down, and the rebound is pulled by the Bobcats. They now have numbers. Gordon running in transition, finger roll for 2 points. It's now 5-3 with 18 minutes and 55 seconds left here in the first half. The ball's controlled by Lett, who passes it over to Farley. Farley looking for one of his teammates. Finally passes it over to Henson. Henson to Wright for 3, no good. Off that side of the rim, now controlled by the Bobcats. Running the point for the Bobcats is White. White takes the pick from Gordon. Over in the corner for 3, no good. That shot was taken by Greg Hextall. The rebound brought down by Wright. Wright over to Lett. Lett now looking for one of his teammates to flash. No movement away from the ball right now. Finally, Farley gets the ball as he flashes from the post. Farley throws over. Dangerous pass over to Henson, but Henson comes down with it. Now over to Wright, back to Farley. Farley drives baseline, puts it up, and he's fouled in the act of shooting. And he'll shoot 2 foul shots with an opportunity to tie the game up. It's now 5-3 with 18 minutes and 2 seconds left. Coach White calls over one of his players. Lett looks like he's going to have a discussion. What have you seen so far in this game from both teams?
Well, so far, both teams have came out and done a really good job of establishing the tempo. The tempo's been really, really fast-paced. Both teams are getting up and down the floor really quickly, and that's the style that these teams want to run. We're going to see if that's going to test both of these teams' legs and stamina as we get later on into the game.
And an opportunity for Farley to get into the lane. He tried to pass out as he got into the painted area, but couldn't, as the ball was stolen away by the Bobcats, but quickly stolen right back by the Cardinals. Cardinals, nice ball movement. Throw it down to the big man, Gallo down low. It splits the two defenders with the pass to Farley, but Farley gets it stolen. White, now with the fancy dribbling, decides to pull out. Waits for his teammates to set. Passes it over. Passes it once again. Picks up the dribble for three. The Bobcats, no good, and the rebound is brought down by Wright. That shot was taken by Creighton Lambert. A nice opportunity to get into the paint for Nicholas Henson, and he took that opportunity, got into the paint, but he was fouled before the shot went up. Actually, there was no shot as the foul happened right when he got into the lane, so the Cardinals will take the ball on the inbounds play. Looks like Curious Lett will throw in the inbounds. He throws it to Galloway, who gets it stolen right away. Bobcats now pushing in transition, and a beautiful play by number 25, Edward Gordon, who got in deep into Cardinals territory really by himself, and he put in the 2 points off the glass on the layup.
Yep, and points off turnovers are going to be a big deal. That pass in the inbound was not a smart pass, in my opinion. He may have been the taller defender, but there were plenty of black jerseys around. So that was really easy defense there.
And the three was taken by Wright, but a pretty bad communication between Wright and Galloway, as neither guy could come up with a rebound, as they were the only two players there. But we had a whistle away from the ball. Looks like number 11, Lett, with the push. It's his second foul, second team foul as well, so not really a chippy game so far. I think that may change in the later stages of this game, as this is a very fast-paced game. When you play very fast, you have an opportunity to, and a tendency, I should say, to play out of control. And when you play out of control, you usually pick up a lot of fouls.
I was going to say the exact same thing, and playing out of control is not what either team wants to do. So we're going to have to see if that out of control style is going to continue, and if foul trouble will eventually become a problem for either team in this game.
And a very good call by the ref there, as number 33, Trevor Wiggins, was called for the moving screen. It was very obvious, even here from the press box, that he didn't have his feet set during that screen, and Catonsville will take over the ball. The Cardinals now controlling it. This interesting two-man press action for the Bobcats, easily split, and the ball, ooh, I almost said my famous line, welcome to the block party, young man, but I would have been speaking a little too soon, as that was not a block, as it really was a foul. Number 42, Marcel Turner, went up for the layup attempt, but he was fouled. They didn't even get the ball out of his hand, but it was in the act of shooting, so we'll go to the line to try to make this a 2-point game, as it's 7-3 with 16 minutes and 30 seconds left here in the first half. Turner makes good on his first foul shot attempt. Turner came off the bench here in this game. Also coming off the bench here for CCBC Catonsville is number 23, Jossie Wright. Turner, second foul shot is good. 2 for 2 from that time from the Charity Tripe that time. So it's 7-5, 16 minutes and 25 seconds left. Controlling the ball is number 3, Mike Bassnight. Passes it over. Now controlled by number 0, Jerron Burnell, who passes it back over to Bassnight. Knight, over. Driving, back to Knight for 3. Good. 10-5. Here in the early stages, the Bobcats are able to open up a 5-point lead here with 16 minutes left here in the first half. Think the full court press has anything to do with that?
Yeah, I think so. It's forcing the Cardinals to play out of control here, and when you're out of control, you're going to force more turnovers. Well, turnovers going to in turn lead to easy points on the offensive end.
And the foul away from the ball on the Bobcats looks like number 25 will pick up that foul. That is Edward Gordon. Correction, that's on number 32, Drowan. And the Cardinals will take it out of bounds underneath their own basket. And a very ill-advised pass there by number 22 of the Knights, Jossie Wright, as he tried to find his star player, number 3, Douglas Farley, but it went right through his legs. He really had no opportunity to get that ball. You got to give it to him in his chest.
Yep, got to make a better pass. Got to make better passes than that, and that's going to be a problem for the Cardinals if this game continues in this way.
The pass down low by the Bobcats. No good. That was a great see with that pass, but number 32 just could not put the ball into the basket. Or correction, number 33, Trevor Wiggins, could not put the ball into the basket. Wright is now Josh C. Wright is now controlling the ball for the Cardinals. He takes the pick from his big man Turner, gets into the basket, tried to pass it off. It was a very pretty pass, but could not be controlled by Nicholas Henson. And that's 2 straight possessions where that ended with a turnover.
Wasted possessions are never what you want to see in sports, and you got to do a good job taking care of the ball, making sure the ball's secure in your hands before you do anything else. You can't catch the ball, move before you catch the ball.
Now, we may be playing this mixer at CCBC Dundalk, but as you can hear, fans, CCBC Catonsville has traveled extremely well, as we have some very, very passionate fans here. And what a beautiful play by the Bobcats. The pass over to Drowan, who puts it in. I didn't know if he was going to be able to get to that ball in time, but he did. Not only got to it in time, he put it in for 2 points.
He was like a vacuum there with those long arms. He sucked it up and got the ball to the hoop very quickly.
Ladies and gentlemen, right there, the CCBC Catonsville Cardinals showed exactly how you want to beat press. They just didn't put the basket in as they passed their way through the press. They turned it over, but they get the ball right back, and there it is. Montague Wright, number 0, puts in a beautiful layup there for 2 points. It's now 12-7, 14 minutes left here in the first half.
Montague Wright's one of these kids we're going to want to look out for today.
Absolutely. I think we may be saying his name a couple more times through the end of the broadcast. That shot was taken by number 4, Greg Hextall, for 3, but couldn't be put in. The Bobcats end another possession without a basket. Montague Wright now controlling the ball, passes it over to a teammate. Let now controls the ball, dribbles, takes the pick from Turner, now gets into the lane, passes it off to Turner. Great pick and roll action there by the 2 Catonsville players. They just could not put the ball into the basket, as yet another possession ends without a basket.
Catonsville's got to be frustrated right now for all these missed attempts so far, getting points in the last few possessions. But in their defense, Bryant Stratton is doing a really good job of stifling Catonsville's offense. So we got to see if the coach going to make some adjustments and try to get his guys some easy buckets to get themselves going.
Not too sure what's going on here. Oh, I thought they were going to be, say that they were in the 1-and-1. I thought they only had 6 fouls, and they do. Little confusion there in the court, but regardless, the Bobcats will take the ball out underneath their own basket. Pass the ball in. The Catonsville Cardinals still running that press. Stop ball. Bassnight looking for something looking for somebody to pass to. An alley-oop pass, and it's a beautiful one by Jerron Burnell with the pass up to the big man, number 4, Greg Hextall, and he puts it down with ease.
They don't get much prettier than that, folks. That was amazing. A really long pass from the three-point line, found Hextall, and he jammed that thing home.
I'll be in all honesty, when that ball was thrown up, I thought, there's no way he's going to finish that. I'll eat my crow, and I'll like it, too, because that was a beautiful pass there.
Yeah, I thought it was going to be a turnover there.
Montague Wright got into the basket, and he put the ball up. He got up a little gingerly. It looks like he's favoring that ankle. And, man, the way these guys are jumping, in particular, number 32, Drowan, we may be in for a dunk fest here.
I would not complain. I like to see you guys jump out the gym. And clearly, Stratton has some guys that can jump out of the gym.
That's really not something we're used to seeing here at CCBC Dundalk. Is they don't have a lot of dunkers on their team, but this Bryant Stratton Bobcats team looks like they've got some guys with some serious hops on this team. Regardless, there's a foul on the play by the Cardinals. The Bobcats will take the ball out underneath the Cardinals basket, getting the call from the sidelines from their coach, seeing what inbounds play they want to run here. It's a 7-point game, 14-7 with 12 minutes and 40 seconds left. The ball's thrown up, controlled by number 5, Romello Anderson. Anderson over to Bassnight. Bassnight looking for somebody to pass to. Finally passes it over to his teammate, Jerron Burnell. Passes it down low. Oh, got him up with the pump fake and says that pivot foot moved just a little bit before the ball did. Romello Anderson will be called for the travel, and the Catonsville Cardinals will take over possession of the ball.
Really good defense by Catonsville to force that travel. Don't see much better than that.
Now, we've played almost 8 minutes, and we have a pretty low-scoring game so far, as it's only 14-7. Number 12, Nicholas Henson, put up that shot, but he couldn't go down, as the Bobcats really are making mincemeat out of this Cardinals defense and this Cardinals press, as they easily got the ball down the field and put it in for the 2 points. That was Romello Anderson for the 2 points. It's now 16-7 with just under 12 minutes left. Now, as I said, the Cardinals defense has really been made mincemeat out of so far. How do they turn this around, Byron?
Well, they've just got to tighten it up overall. I mean, they're getting beat. Their press is getting broken, which is a problem. So you want to either try to force them to make mistakes before they can get into the half court and get their set set up, because once you get into the half court, it makes it really, really difficult to stop a team once they're going like this. It's difficult for you to stop them. So this train's gonna have to get moving one way or the other.
Now, as we've seen, the Cardinals have been trying to run this press pretty much all game, and it really hasn't stopped anyone here. It hasn't stopped anyone in the Bobcats. Do you think they'll continue to run that press?
Well, I would hope not. If it's not working, then you're only shooting yourself in the foot by doing that. So we'll see what coach can decide to do.
And now number 2, Dimitri Wilson, checks into the game for the Bobcats. He's doing his best Richard Hamilton impression as he's wearing his face mask. The pass up is to number 12, and he will be fouled in the act of shooting. I think that was a little late whistle. I thought he was fouled the minute he caught the ball, but good thing they waited, because now they have an opportunity to shoot some foul shots. Nicholas Henson will go to the line for his first opportunity at foul shots.
Yeah, and so far they are 3 for 3 at the line on free throws as a team, and it's always a good sign. When you get to the line, make your free throws, it's usually a good thing.
Exactly. We saw from the game that we called last Sunday the lack of free throws that CCBC Dundalk had really came back to haunt them, as they missed a lot of free throws in that game.
Yeah, they did miss. They missed a lot of free throws in the second half of the game, and that really cost them. So I'm hoping tonight we see these teams actually make their free throws if it does come down to free throws.
Henson missed the second free throw opportunity, so the Bobcats now have control of the ball. The shot was taken by Cameron Alston. He couldn't make it, and the rebound was had by Greg Hextall, and he put it in for 2 points. Cardinals now controlling the ball, pressed on the bottom, and we got a over and back call, I believe that was. I haven't seen the hand signal. Or 10-second call. Wow, you don't see that very often in basketball, do you?
No, I don't see that very often, and that has a lot to do with this Bryant Stratton defense. They really did a good job there of trapping the man in the backcourt, and he just really couldn't do anything.
Alston for 3. Makes good on that one. That's his second 3-point attempt of the game. Missed the first one in the corner on that last possession. Makes good on that one. It's now 21-7, a 14-point lead here. Ill-advised pass, but Douglas Farley comes up with it anyway, but he can't put the rebound. He can't put the layup in, as he really didn't have numbers, as he had 2 Bobcat defenders in front of him. Not to be confused with the former NBA team Bobcats.
Yeah, that was a really tough shot to take. Especially when there's 2 guys defending you, and you're the only one back. That's tough, man.
And an ill-advised pass there by Bass Knight as he tried to find his teammate, Cameron Alston, but the ball was stolen by the Cardinals. And in transition, they were fouled before they could even get the shot opportunity. But regardless, they are in the bonus. So it's be 1-1 here for the rest of the first half for the Cardinals.
And it's really early to be in the 1-1 with just under 11 minutes to go in the first half. It's really early. We'll see how that impacts the rest of the first half.
Now, we said earlier during that last break in action, if the Cardinals want to get back into this, they really need to hit their free throws in the 1-1 opportunity. They can't get anything on it as he misses the first foul shot attempt, and that's the second dunk of the game there, as we saw Bass Knight weaved his way into the paint, dumped it off to his teammate Greg Hextall, who dunked it down home for 2. now 23-7 with 10 minutes and 33 seconds. Got another timeout on the court. Now, Byron, I don't think they took your advice after that last timeout. Is there anything else that the Cardinals can do? Because they can't score on offense. They can't stop anybody on defense. How do they get back into this game?
That's going to be really tough to do at this point. It's really starting to run away from them here. They've got to do something. They've got to they have to make better passes with the ball. And they've really got to tighten up on defense. Those two things are going to get them back in this game. And one more thing, make your free throws. You gotta, when they get to the line, being in the bonus now, you got to make your free throw big count.
And you got to be aggressive now, especially now that you are in the bonus. I wouldn't expect the Cardinals to settle for any jump shots. Try to push the issue, get into the paint, and get fouled and make those shots. A beautiful play by Lett to get past the defender, but he turns it over after he got past the defender. The Bobcats now control the ball. Lett playing good defense on Hextall, who passes it over to Base Knight. Knight's got to make something happen. Finally does. Pulls back, calls for a cutting teammate. Goes away from the pick, throws it over to Hextall for three off the rim and rebounded by Alston. And they'll have a fresh shot clock after that, as it did hit the rim, and another opportunity to get some points on the board for the Bobcats. Base Knight with a beautiful pass. I think I've said that maybe 3 or 4 times in this game as he passes it over to a teammate who puts it in for 2 points. It's 25-7 with just under 10 minutes left here in this one. Pass, Lett for 3. No good off the back iron, but Farley comes up with the rebound, tries to put it in. Can't, got his own rebound. Missed the second opportunity, got his own rebound again, and he was fouled that time. Not in the act of shooting, but it doesn't matter as they are in the 1-and-1, so he will shoot at least one foul shot. Douglas Farley started this game off with a beautiful and one. Let's see if he can get this opportunity as well. We got coaches on the sidelines for the Cardinals. We also have coaches here in the stands, as it looks like some fans are letting the players know what they should be doing.
Gotta let them know that they're here. That's all. But since we're talking about Farley there, ever since that and one, he's only had 1 point to contribute. So he's gonna want to pick it up. Him and everyone else on Catonsville as well, for that matter.
Douglas Farley makes good on his first foul shot attempt. Second one coming underway. And it's good. We've seen Farley, like you said, he's only had 1 point after that and one, but we have seen him go hard to the glass. He had 2 offensive rebounds on that possession alone.
Yeah, he's doing a good job of staying active, staying involved in this game, and doing his part to try to cut down this already large lead.
White now controls the ball. Some fancy dribbling. Decides to pass it over. Burnell for 3. Good! Jerron Burnell for 3. It's now 28-9 with 9 minutes left in this one. Montague Wright tried to spin off his defender, but did not have a lot of room to spin as he stepped on the out-of-bounds line as he was spinning, and it'll go out of bounds for another turnover. I think we've said that one too many times here for the Cardinals. I think that has a big part to do with why they're down by so many here in the early part of this game. White now controls the ball. Dribbles, passes it down to his big man, number 20, Ferguson. Puts the shot up, can't be had, but the rebound is finally controlled by the Bobcats, in particular number 5, Anderson, who passes it over to White. White gets past his defender, Lett. He passes it over to Burnell. Pull-up jumper, no good off the front of the iron. Wright comes up with the rebound, and he's fouled as he tries to make a break for it. See, Montague Wright doesn't have a lot of points in this game. He hasn't had nobody on the Cardinals team has a lot of points, but we've seen a lot of heart and a lot of hustle from Montague Wright here in this early part of the game, haven't we?
Yes, we have, and that is a good sign. If you're at Catonsville, just keep playing and keep playing hard, show that heart. And at some point, something's got to give, because right now, everything seems to be falling for Bryant Stratton, and the lid is really closed on Catonsville's side of the court right now.
Cardinals are now in the double bonus, as it'll be 2 foul shots here for the rest of this first half. Montague Wright doesn't make the first one, but does make good on the second one, so it's now 28-10, and the Cardinals are finally in that double digits. That can be a big deal. Once you see that extra 0 there on the court, maybe that'll get something going for them offensively, give them a little confidence. Maybe the basket will start expanding for them.
Yeah, you got to hope that the basket's going to start expanding. It's going to have to, because if it doesn't, then this lead's just going to grow bigger, and that's not what you want.
Great ball movement by the Bobcats as they finally get the open man. Number 24, Creighton Lambert, shot the 3, couldn't hit it, but the rebound was had by the Bobcats and put in for 2 points. The Cardinals now controlling the ball, trying to get past that press. Finally do. Douglas Farley gets into the lane, puts it up for 2, and a beautiful finger roll by Douglas Farley. Man, you want me to say your name with passion, young man. Make beautiful plays like that, and we've seen now 2 beautiful plays by Douglas Farley.
And we're gonna have to keep saying the name with passion if he's gonna keep doing stuff like that tonight.
Burnell for 3, trying to make his second 3 of the game, and I think somebody missed their box out there as number 24, Creighton Lambert, came up with an easy rebound and 2 points, and the Cardinals turn it over on the transition play, and Burnell tried to put it in for 2 points, but he's fouled in the act of shooting as he'll go to the line. It's now 32-12 with 7 minutes and 18 seconds left here in the first half. Inexcusable turnover there if you're the Cardinals. You got to get back into this game, and you really got to protect the ball because you're now down by 20 points.
Yeah, you've got to take better care of the ball when you have it in your hands, especially when you're down big, 20 points, like you said. I mean, you have to be smart with your passes. Some of the passes we've seen from Catonsville have been really just long-range passes, forcing their players to jump in the air and try to catch it. You got to make crisp, clean passes.
Burnell misses his first free throw opportunity, second coming underway. Makes good on the second. A correction, that was the first. I don't know what I saw there to make me think that he had already shot in a foul shot. Got a little ahead of myself. So I was just getting excited to see what the Cardinals were going to do after that bad turnover. Burnell makes good on his second foul shot as well. Got a little friendly roll from the back of the rim. But like my dad said, that's why you put spin on the ball. So your ball gives you that little extra bounce.
Little extra bounce is going Stratton's way, really. I mean, everything is going their way at this point.
Douglas Farley pushes up, and now they break the press easily there with the passing. They get the ball down to the big man, 6'9", Tim Felis out of Hagerstown, Maryland. He went to the Grace Academy High School. He got the ball down low, got the man up with the pump fake, and when he went to put the ball into the net, he was fouled, so we'll go to the line for 2 foul shots.
Personally, I thought I saw a little bit of sliding there before he put the shot up, but maybe I was just hearing the squeaks of all the shoes on the court. That's what that was.
Regardless, he doesn't make either one of his foul shots, and that's got to be a very disappointing thing if you are Coach White of the Cardinals. You have an opportunity to cut into this lead, and you can't. There's a lot of foul shots being missed by the Cardinals. Regardless, the Bobcats now control the ball. We've seen some beautiful ball movement by the Bobcats, and an air ball shot by number 35, Akini White. The Cardinals move the ball down the field, and it's turned over as number 11, Karina Slett, could not come up with that pass as it goes just a little bit too far in front of him, out of bounds. It's now 34-12, 6 minutes and 47 seconds left here in this first half. It's been an exciting half of basketball, but only for one team, right?
I was going to say, yeah, if you're a fan of Bryant Stratton, you are ecstatic right now. If you're a fan of Catonsville, you're not so much.
White passes it over. Number 24, Lambert. Passes it back over to White. White now controls it, passes it over to his teammate, Alondo Jackson, who takes the shot. No good. Rebounded by number 12, Henson. Henson pushes it up. Montague Wright throws it down to Henson, and he's blocked. Finally, I can say it. Welcome to the block party, young man. Refreshments are on the bench.
So the first invitation of the night. I wonder if we're going to get more.
And a fearless play there by number 5, Romello Anderson, and he tried to put that down with authority, but The Cardinals said, "You better respect my authority, young man," as he puts him down onto the ground, and that will be a foul. Romello Anderson will go to the line for 2 points, or for 2 foul shots. We don't know if he's made good on those 2 points yet.
Anderson was trying to put somebody on a poster, and he almost did too.
Romello Anderson. You heard it there from our PA announcer, Rocco. The substitution that just came into the game for the Bobcats, Greg Hextall. Romello Anderson, second foul shot. Good. It's now 35-12 with just over 6 minutes left here, and the Cardinals will take it back on the inbounds. And they turn the ball over. I don't even know what that was. I can't tell you what it was, but I can tell you that it's a turnover, and the Bobcats will have possession of the ball in great position.
If I had to guess what that was, I would say that the inbounder's foot was over the line, and that's what caused the violation and the turnover, which is another really unfortunate thing to have happen for Catonsville. Things are just starting to snowball on them right now.
They got away with that one, though, as there was a push away from the ball by the Bobcats, and now the Cardinals will control the ball once again. Back-to-back turnovers before the ball was even thrown into the bounds. Cardinals, risky pass, but get through it. Douglas Farley puts the ball up, and he's fouled in the act of shooting as he will now shoot 2 foul shots. Really, Douglas Farley and Montague Wright are really the only guys on this Cardinals team pressing the issue, trying to get into the basket, trying to get to the basket, and trying to get some points in. As we've said Douglas Farley's name quite a couple times here in the beginning of this broadcast.
Yeah, and like I said during the pregame, Farley and Wright are 2 guys they're going to want to look out for. And so far, they're doing their part. Their teammates are going to have to help out because basketball is a team game after all.
It is absolutely right, but regardless, Douglas Farley may be the guy to bring these guys bring these Cardinals out of the hole as he makes good on that first foul shot attempt. It's 13-35 with just over 6 minutes left here in this one. Makes good on both as it's now 14-35. White controlling the ball. The Cardinals have abandoned that press opportunity as they're now just picking their man up at half court. White controls the ball, passes it over to Jackson, who passes it back over to White. He's got a teammate who cuts from the basket, tries to pass across court, but can't. Montague Wright comes up with the steal. Throws it up to a teammate, number 22, Jossie Wright. Gets into the paint, tries to put it up, and he can't. Doesn't even hit any rim. That will be an air ball and a turnover. Bobcats will now control the ball underneath their own basket.
Cross-court passes are some of the most dangerous passes you can make in basketball. And that one there on Bryant's possession was not very good at all.
No, very ill-advised passes. That last shot by the Cardinals was an ill-advised shot as well, and whistle blew before the pass. Looks like number 11, was going to be given to Let. It's his 3rd foul here early in this game. I imagine he'll probably grab some bench probably for the rest of this first half, as he was a starter here for the Cardinals. You don't want to lose a starter this early in the game.
No, you don't. But I mean, when you're trailing like this and you guys get in foul trouble, maybe when you got off the bench can give a spark to Catonsville.
White can't make good on the first foul shot attempt. Farley now down into the lane. He tried to put in the and one as he was fouled in the act of shooting. But regardless, he'll go back to the line. Man, how many foul shots has Farley shot in this game?
He shot 5 and made all 5.
Wow, that's a good, it's pretty good.
It doesn't get much better than that.
There you go.
Much better than that,
That's why you have a broadcast partner, people. That's why you have a broadcast partner. When that word just can't come out of your mouth, he comes right there to the rescue.
Here to save the day.
Farley makes good on the first foul shot attempt. Makes it a 20-point game. It's 35-15 right now. Second foul shot coming up. And the second is good as well. 7 for 7 from the line here for Farley. It's now 35-16, makes it a 19-point game with just over 5 minutes left. White controls the ball. Dribble handoff to Jackson. Hands it off to Hextall. Gets into the lane. I thought he was fouled, but the refs saw otherwise. But regardless, number 25, Edward Gordon, was able to come up with the loose ball and put it in for 2 points. It's now 37-16.
right place at the right time there for Gordon. I thought he got fouled. I thought Hextall got fouled too, Aaron, but nope. Luckily, Gordon was there to clean up the mess.
My dad always used to say it's better to be lucky than good at anything. And right there, Gordon was lucky that he came up with that gift. Douglas Farley passes it over to Let. Let spins off his defender. Now gets into the lane, puts it in, and he's fouled in the act of shooting. He'll go to the line for 2 foul shots.
Wanted to speak for a minute on Farley here. He has 11 of Catonsville's 16 points. So he is really the main contributor of their offense right now.
And that's great news if you're Farley because you're filling the stat sheet. But that's terrible news if you are the CCBC Catonsville coaches and players, because that means you're really not getting much done offensively or defensively for that matter, as they find themselves in a 20-point hole. But Let has an opportunity to make it a 19-point hole with the second foul shot. Let made good on the first one. Second. No good off the back of the rim, and it's rebounded by number 24, Creighton Lambert. Lambert up to Base Knight. Over to Brunell. Back to Base Knight. Bass Knight, correction. Bass Knight tried to pass it over, but it's stolen by number 12, Donovan Fowler. Fowler with a beautiful play, up and under. That's his 2 point. That's his first 2 points of the game. And it's now 37-19 with 4 minutes left here in the first half. Now that's Let's fourth foul here in the game. I thought he was going to take a seat after the third, but I'm pretty sure he'll definitely be taking a seat after that fourth one, as it looks like number 22, Jossie Wright, will be checking into the game for the Cardinals.
And that's a bad foul to pick up there. Personally, I didn't see anything that warranted a foul. Maybe a little bit of a shove, but that's what's been happening all game. But unfortunately for Let, it's fourth foul. He's going to have to take a seat.
Ace Wright misses that foul opportunity, but the rebound is had. Brunell gets the pass from his teammate, and he turns it right over, but the Cardinals can't come up with that loose ball, as I thought that was going to be a turnover, but Nicholas Henson could not control that loose ball as it dribbled off of his foot or off of his leg. And the Bobcats will have control of the ball with just under 4 minutes left here in the first half. Bobcats get the ball inbounds. Lambert passes it over. The number 3, Bass Knight. Knight passes it back over to Lambert, who passes it over to Wilson. Wilson dribbles through his legs a couple times and passes it over to Bass Knight. Bass Knight behind the back, gets into the lane, puts it up, and that's blocked. Douglas Farley had that block but couldn't come up with the loose ball, as the Bobcats still remain with possession of the ball. Bass Knight gets the pick, uses the pick, and has it stolen away. Farley runs with numbers, and he gets the pass and throws it in for the layup. 2 points. Now 37-21 with just over 3 minutes left. Timeout taken by the Bobcats. It's now 37-21 with just over 3 minutes left. Once again, Fowler, the only one getting it done here for the Cardinals.
Yep, he's still really showing off tonight. He's showing off for Catonsville anyway. That's one of the few positives they can take away. But the lead's starting to dwindle a little bit for Bryant Stratton, but so far they're still in pretty much control of this game.
And Bryant Stratton, you said it earlier, everything was falling for them. They were taking a lot of jump shots, and they were making good on them. Now we've seen here in the later stages of this first half, them getting into the lane a lot, but they haven't been making good on those. Do you think they'll go back to those jump shots?
Well, jump shots are usually more difficult to make than the inside shots, since most of the time, they're close to the basket. So those are going to go in more times than not. But jump shots are probably a good idea at this point. You want to stay away from the height of Catonsville.
White now controls the ball. Passes it over to Wilson. Pull-up jumper, good! Dimitri Wilson, number 2 for the Bobcats, makes good on that pull-up jump shot. It's now 39-21. Henson with control of the ball. He gets the pull-up floater, jumper, and he's fouled in the act of shooting, and he'll go back to the line. I've always been interested in that shot. You go up, pull up for the shot, but your body continues to go forward while you're in the act of shooting. It's a perfect way to get a foul. Always wonder why more guys didn't do that. Regardless, Henson will go to the line and shoot 2 foul shots. Makes good on the first.
And that's the first free throw Henson's made all night, so hopefully this will get him going.
Second is good as well. 2 for 2 from the line that time for Henson. White controls the ball with just under 3 minutes left here in the first half. White goes with the pick. Passes it over to Lambert. Passes it down low and gets it stolen. Now running is Donovan. And double dribble. I don't know. You can hear the fans right next to me. They're as shocked as we are here in the broadcast booth. I didn't see any double dribble there.
I didn't see a double dribble either, but the refs are closer than we are, so maybe they saw something we didn't.
And a carry. I think that was a make-good call right there. I think they knew they needed to give that ball back to the Cardinals because White is called for the carry. I like to call that the Michael Jordan call.
Yeah, as someone who used to umpire for baseball, it's always difficult when you make a bad call. Knowing you did, now you got to give one right back. So that was that makeup call right there. That was, Aaron, as you just said.
Montague Wright passes it over for 3. Cardinals off the front of the rim, no good. Dexter Fowler, I'm getting a little too excited for football tomorrow. Douglas Farley tried to make a attempt to save that ball, but couldn't. It looks like he's going to be called for a foul, his second foul of the game. And the Bobcats will go to the line for 2 foul shots. Correction, we're still in the 1-and-1 for the Bobcats, so if he makes good on this one, he'll shoot 2.
Farley's one of those guys you really don't want to get in foul trouble. He only has 2, but still, hopefully it doesn't continue.
Drowan makes good on the first foul shot attempt, so it's now 40-23. 17-point game here with just over 2 minutes left here in this first half. Drowan's second foul shot is good, so it's now 41-23. Pushing the ball up. Farley passes it over to Wright. Passes it over to Montague Wright. Down low to Farley, puts it in for 2. He absorbed that contact right in the middle of his chest and put it in for 2. It's 25-41, just under 2 minutes left.
Yeah, it was a really good job by Farley to go in there and absorb that contact, take the hit, get the basket to fall. I'm pretty sure he's hoping to shoot free throws still, but regardless.
Hextall took the jump shot, didn't make it, got his own rebound and put in the layup.
That's why it's always important to follow your shot there. Kids, follow your shot. Good things will happen if you do.
3 taken by Fowler. No good, but there's a foul on the rebound attempt. And number 12, Nicholas Henson, will go to the line for 2 foul shots as the Bobcats have been in the double bonus here for quite some time.
It's definitely been the double bonus for a while now, and the free throws are a problem if you're Catonsville. You just got to start getting these to fall and start cutting in that lead a little bit more.
Absolutely. You said Henson made his first foul shot on his last attempt. His last trip to the line, he makes good on that one as well. So it's now 43-26. We have 1 minute and 17 seconds left here in the first half.
While Henson hasn't made a shot from the floor, he has done his thing at the free throw line so far, making 3 shots from the free throw line, and Sportsman just fell right there. So he's been pretty good in these last 4 attempts.
Doesn't matter where you get the points, just matters that you get the points, right?
Exactly.
White controls the ball. Dribble handoff to Lambert. Takes the pick. Tries to pass it down to Hextall. White comes up with the ball and passes it back to Lambert. Burnell for 3. No good as we're going to our final minute of the first half. Wright controls the ball for the Cardinals. Looking for somebody to pass to. Farley screens. He's now getting trapped in the corner. Now passes it over. Donovan spins off his defender. Over to Farley. Farley puts up the basket. Can't hit anything. Donovan tried to come up with the rebound. Couldn't get it cleanly. And the Bobcats finally come up with the loose ball. White pushing the action. Throws down to Hextall. And he could not come up with possession of the ball. And it's out of bounds for a turnover. Shot clock has been turned off. And I imagine the Cardinals will probably try to hold for the last possession of this first half.
That's what I was hoping Bryant Stratton would do there on that possession. Work the clock down some more. You have a huge lead. There's no need to get a quick bucket there. Run that clock down and control the ball, control your lead some more.
Donovan Fowler passes over to Montague Wright. Wright goes to pick and fouled on the play. I thought the ref was going to say he dribbled out of bounds. The ref made the good call. He was definitely fouled on that play, and he will go to the line for 2 foul shots. We said earlier here in this broadcast, Montague Wright hadn't really racked up the points, but he had been playing with a lot of heart and a lot of passion and making some plays out there offensively and defensively for the Cardinals.
Yeah, and, even when things aren't going your way, you still have to obviously keep playing. It's a long game. Plenty of things can happen. You can see he's visually frustrated with himself. He's got to keep it going, though. Got to stay positive.
And he misses both foul shot attempts. White tried to make something happen on that quick way down the lane, but he couldn't find a teammate to pass to, and he finally turns the ball over. Farley puts up the half-court shot, and no good. Fans, that is all she wrote here for the first half. It's 43-27. Stay tuned as I will be interviewing the coach for the CCBC Catonsville Cardinals. Thomas standing here with head coach for the CCBC Catonsville Cardinals, Great White. How do you get back into this game, White?
Just take care of the ball, turn up our tempo a little bit, just see what they can do in full court. We haven't pressed them yet, so I guess I'll wait, come out in the second half and look for something different.
All right, well, I'll be looking forward to it. Thank you very much for your time, Coach White.
All right.
There you go. That's our first half action. We'll be right back after this. And we're back here for action at CCBC. Dundalk between the CCBC Catonsville Cardinals and the Bryant Stratton Bobcats. Douglas Farley, once again, we've been saying this gentleman's name all game long. He's really been the only one getting anything done here for the Cardinals. It's now 29-43. Bobcats with the shot. No good. Who's going to come up with the rebound? The Bobcats come up with the rebound, but it's blocked from behind by Galloway. Montague Wright sends it up to Henson, and he's fouled before he can get the ball in the air. It was a nice hot step there by Henson, who got into the lane but couldn't get the shot up in the air in time before the foul. So the Cardinals, matter of fact, will take the ball out on the outside.
That was a good job by the defender there of after he made the hop step, just corralling him and holding on to the ball, not letting him get the shot off.
Donovan Fowler turns the ball over there. Bobcats running in numbers. Number 20 puts that ball in with ease. Number 20, that's Jaleel Ferguson for the Bobcats. Fowler now controlling the ball, running the point, passes it over to Farley. Farley passes it up to Galloway. Galloway tried to pass it away, but it's stolen. In transition, running with numbers. Galloway thought he had the block. This broadcaster thought he had the block as well, but the ref, who's really the only guy who matters in this situation, saw otherwise, and he will go to the line for 2 foul shots as he's fouled in the act of shooting Jaleel Ferguson. What did you see on that play, Byron?
Well, it was a really good job, first of all, by Ferguson there to make the steal and corral it, get down the court, and luckily it's going to go to the line and get free throws. That was a tough shot attempt either way.
Ferguson makes good on his first foul shot attempt. He scored all 3 points here in the beginning of this second half.
And that's really a good sign for Ferguson. Got to get him going and just keep it up, and hopefully things will continue the way they have been this whole game.
Ferguson makes good on both foul shot attempts. He's now scored 4 points in a row. Donovan pushes it up to Farley. Farley in for 2 as he split the 2 defenders, and that's a pretty layup there for Farley. He, once again, is the only one getting anything done for the Cardinals here in this game.
It really is, and that's really surprising. If you're Catonsville, you would have thought that more of your guys would have stepped up to help the cause.
Hextall controls the ball, passes it over to White, passes it down low. Trying to make something happen is Ferguson, and he makes a beautiful play on the block as he spins towards the baseline and puts it in for 2 points. 6 straight points for Ferguson.
Yeah, he's really come to life here in the second half. Hopefully he can continue.
5-star slamma-jamma there by Romella Anderson, as he is the first one to score a point outside of Jaleel Ferguson for the Bobcats in this second half.
Bunnies, that's all that was, folks.
Farley controls the ball, gets into the paint, puts it in for 2, can't hit it. There's 2 defenders in his way, and he put the ball up with an opportunity to put it in for 2. Personally, I think he thought he was fouled in the act of shooting there, but regardless, it'll go off a Bobcats defender, and the Cardinals will control the ball underneath their own basket.
Yeah, it looked like a foul to me from over here, but once again, and the refs see otherwise.
Donovan Fowler will inbound the ball. The ref letting these guys know that he has not whistled the ball in yet, so no need to start the pushing and shoving just yet, gentlemen.
Just give him a few extra seconds to get the ball to the guy. You can push the shove all you want after that. You know, one of the keys for Catonsville here in the second half is going to be ball control. First half, they turned it over plenty of times, ill-advised passes, things like that. They've got to do a better job of controlling the ball. If they can control the ball and get easier shots, then hopefully this lead can be cut down from 20 to possibly 2.
And the ball is turned over. 5-second violation there. Donovan Fowler. White calls out the play. I believe the play is Utah. They pass it over to Lambiert. Gets into the lane. Passes it over. to Anderson, who puts it in for 3. Now that's 5 straight points for Anderson.
Yeah, he's probably talking to Ferguson and saying, hey, man, I could score too.
Anderson with great hustle there. He tried to get that loose ball, but it looks like I think his foot or some part of his body hit the line as he was diving for that ball, and the Cardinals will control the ball now.
Still a good effort regardless on that. Even though you're winning by a large amount, you still want to keep the pressure on your other team and not let them back in the game. So really good hustle there, try to get the ball back for his team.
And I spoke to Coach White at halftime. He said we should be seeing a little bit more press, and they really need to control the ball here in the second half. And a beautiful dunk by Santi Galloway as he puts it in for 2 points. It's 54-33 with 17 minutes left here in this game.
Really nice jam in traffic there by Galloway.
Yes, absolutely. Galloway had a couple defenders around him, but he rose above the defenders and put it in for 2 points. Anderson controls the ball, goes with the pick, spins off his defender, but he will be called for the travel, so that basket or that shot attempt will not count. As it's another turnover by the Bobcats. The ball is now controlled by the Cardinals. The Bobcats are still running this press, even with the big lead. Montague Wright comes up with the pull-up three-pointer in transition, puts it in for the basket. A very interesting foul call away from our broadcast booth. The foul is called on J.C. Wright, number 22. Personally, from my perspective, I saw that White leaned in with the shoulder. I thought that was going to be an offensive foul call, but the ref saw it the other way. And like I said before, that's the only opinion that matters in this game.
Yeah, unfortunately, sometimes the calls are going to go in the offense's favor. More times than not, that's another one of those cases.
Lambert tried to send it down to his teammate Jaleel Ferguson, but it was just a little in front of Ferguson as he wasn't able to come up with that ball as Henson goes, trying to go coast to coast, and he will because he's fouled in the act of shooting, and he'll go to the line for 2 foul shots. It's now 54-36 with just over 16 minutes left here in this one. Very interesting, as you see there, Byron. That's 5 men checking into the game for Bryant Stratton. You don't see a big group substitution like that very often here in basketball, but looks like Coach Brian Graves for the Bobcats is going to clean house.
Yeah, and that's probably a good decision. You don't want to take a chance of injury, even though, I mean, it's not a huge lead. So, but still, you don't want to risk one of your key guys going down if this game does get tight. So I think that's a good call there.
So it's 54-36 with 16 minutes and 11 seconds. Nicholas Henson is at the line and off the back of the rim for Henson. No good. If I remember correctly, he made all his free throw attempts, or he made his last 4 free throw attempts before that, correct?
Correct. He made his last 4 before missing this one.
So you got to be able to make those foul shots if you want to get back into this game if you're the Cardinals. And 3 points don't come often, but they have come often in this game as the Cardinals were in the double bonus pretty early in that second half, or in that first half. Let's see if they can get back into that in the second half.
Yep, I believe there was only 10 minutes in and they were in the bonus. So I think that's going to be, you never want to, set up for foul shots, but in this case, you want to stop the clock, get foul shots.
J.C. Wright for 3, no good, and it's rebounded by the big man. Number 33, Trevor Wiggins. Base right, over to Brunell. Brunell for 3, off the iron. Wiggins gets the rebound, decides to go up with it himself. Can't hit it, and it's finally rebounded by the Cardinals. That's Galloway. J.C. Wright pushing the ball. Over to Montague Wright for 3. Good! 54-40. It's a 14-point game. The Cardinals are getting back into this one. Wilson misses that pull-up jumper attempt, but right there for the putback is Edward Gordon. And it's 56-40 now with 15 minutes left here. He's playing with 4 fouls, so he's got to be careful. He's controlling the ball, being guarded by Gibson. or Gordon, correction. Passes it over to J.C. Wright. He passes it over to Galloway. To Let. Looking for somebody to pass to. Finally passes it to Galloway. Galloway gets in a lane, and he's blocked by Wiggins. Once again, that's the second invitation we've sent out to the block party here in this game.
And there's nothing we like more than sending an invitation to people. They're so nice. But that block was not hard, but it was very effective.
And a beautiful three-pointer by Bass Knight as he was deep behind the three-point line. Montague Wright puts up the alley-oop pass over to Galloway. Galloway doesn't put it down with the dunk, but he does put it down with the fancy layup. A beautiful pass there by Montague Wright.
Yeah, it doesn't matter how that alley-oop finish goes in. As long as it goes in, it's flashy either way.
Exactly. That was a beautiful pass and a beautiful finish. As Galloway looks like he had a shoe untied there as he was tying his shoe, and he'll go to the line for an opportunity to make it a three-point play. That's a three-point play the old-fashioned way.
Oh, yeah, very much so. Speaking of shoes, he's got some nice shoes on, Galloway. Those are black and is that a neon yellow or a green? I can't quite tell.
I'll be honest, sir, you're asking the wrong man because I'm colorblind like a bat. Regardless, those are some pretty fancy shoes from all these guys here on the court. I've always enjoyed that about basketball, the sense of style that all these guys have. Whether it's the sleeve, whether it's the shoes, the socks, it's always something to stand out, isn't it?
Oh, it's great. I love it myself.
Bass Knight over to Gordon, passes it back to Bass Knight, passes it to Brunell, passes it back to Bass Knight. We've really seen a game of hot potato with the basketball all game with the Bobcats as they've been passing the ball very well amongst each other. Bass Knight takes the pick from Wiggins, who passes it over for three. That was taken by Ramella Anderson. No good, and it'll go out of bounds. Looks like the possession arrow will stay with the Bobcats. Yes, it will. The three was taken by Anderson, went off the rim, but nobody could get it for the Cardinals, and it goes off a Cardinals player's leg. Bass Knight controlling the ball. Looking for somebody to pass to. Great defense being played by J.C. Wright. As I may have spoken a little bit too soon there with the great defense comment, because after I said it, he commits the foul. And Edward Gordon will take the ball on the inbounds play. Passed it over to Bass Knight. He passes it back over to Anderson. Anderson, pull-up jumper. Didn't shoot the ball, as instead he passed it down low to Wiggins. Wiggins couldn't control it, and it'll go out of bounds. Possession arrow goes back into the favor of the Cardinals.
Now, to me, it looked like that ball got tipped by a Cardinals defender there. I apparently am seeing things.
There was a lot of bodies there. I thought I saw the same thing, but it's a tough call for the ref to make there. Regardless, the Cardinals will have possession of the ball. Montague Wright, jumper. He's fouled on his way down. That was a three-point attempt, so he will shoot three foul shots there. Montague Wright really came out here, I think, a little more aggressive than we saw him in the first half, right?
Yeah, he definitely does look to be a lot more aggressive, turning up the pace a little bit. He knows he has to get involved to help out Farley, who's really, like I said, showing off in this game.
We saw Montague Wright kind of be a little bit more of a facilitator in that first half. We did say his name quite a few times as he played with a lot of heart and passion in the first half. But here in the second half, he's come out a lot more aggressive, taking some shots. He's made a three. He's gone to the line as an opportunity for 3 more points here as he will shoot 3 foul shots. He just shot his first, made good on it. So 2 more foul shots will come shortly. It's 59-45, 13 minutes and 20 seconds left here in this one. If I had to make a educated guess, I think the Cardinals are on their way back to a comeback here.
That would be really nice to see. After trailing so large in the first half, they've really got to get it going here in the second half. And free throws and keeping the energy up are going to be a good way to do that.
So it's 59-46, 13 minutes left here in this one. Bass Knight passes it over to Hextall. Hextall tried to pass it over. Montague Wright got down on the ground but couldn't control it. Tried to slap it over to his teammate Galloway, but Galloway couldn't control it either as the Bobcats really escaped from a difficult situation there, and they got lucky.
Yeah, they definitely skated out of that situation, and they're lucky they're going to get the ball here. So they gotta make good on this extra possession.
Bass Knight passes it over to Hextall. Passes it over to Burnell. Burnell now controlling the ball, passes it back to Bass Knight. Over to Burnell. Burnell. Over to Anderson. Anderson down low to Wiggins. Wiggins tries to put it in, can't, but he gets his own rebound and puts it in for 2. We've seen a lot of hustle from Wiggins here in this early part of the game. Wiggins, one of the taller gentlemen here on that Bryant Stratton team, stands at 6'8", 215 pounds. Montague Wright with another three-pointer, his second three-pointer of the second half. It's now 49-61 with just over 12 minutes left. Bass Knight. Bass Knight now controlling the ball, gets into the lane, and he's fouled hard as he takes a very, very hard fall down to the ground. And he will go to the line for 2 foul shots.
I was going to say, Wright has really come alive here in the second half. I mean, he's gotten most of their points so far in the second half, so that's a good sign. He's got to keep it up.
Absolutely. I feel like we've been saying Bass Knight's name quite a few times here in this game. Even though he didn't start, he's been playing a lot of minutes off the bench here for the Bobcats.
And those bench guys are really important. They can be your sparks plugs. They can get your team ignited coming off the bench, and it looks like that's what Bass Knight's been doing all game.
Marcel Turner checked into the game for the Cardinals. Bass Knight can't make good on that second foul shot attempt. Donovan Fowler controlling the ball for the Cardinals, pushing the ball up, trying to make something happen, and he's called for the foul. Bass Knight pleading his case over to the referee, but young man, the whistle already blew, so the ref already made up his mind. Luckily, it wasn't in the act of shooting, but that is 5 quick fouls here in this second half for the Bobcats. Farley over to Turner. Turner puts it up, under, and no good. Rebound by Bass Knight. Pushes it up to Hextall. Hextall puts it down for the dunk. 2 hands for protection there. And it's another dunk by the Bobcats.
Nothing too flashy. And sometimes it's better to do it that way. Like you said, you got to have that extra protection for a throwdown such as that one.
Extra protection, but we do know that you got to jump higher to dunk with 2 hands than you do with 1 hand. So some impressive ups there from Hextall of the Bobcats, but we got a timeout taken by the Cardinals. It's 64-49 with just under 12 minutes left here in this game. How do the Cardinals get back into this game, Byron?
Well, they're doing a good job so far of running that press and forcing Bryant Stratton to force turnovers as necessary, but I think they've got to pick that up a little bit more. And then, as always, we don't want to take good shots when you have the ball on offense and, just control the ball. Those 3 things are usually the important key in any basketball game, even when you're trailing, such as Catonsville is. So that's got to get turned up to 11.
So if that's how the Cardinals get back into the game, how do the Bobcats keep this lead?
Well, they have to really just keep playing like they've been playing. They've got to really step up the defense. So if they want to get back in this game, I feel like the defense has been a little bit lax in certain areas here in the second half. So as long as they do that, as long as they keep moving the ball like they were in the first half, and getting those easy 3-point buckets and jump shots, and it's going to be a good time for Bryant Stratton.
There you said it, Byron. Bryant Stratton really just needs to keep doing what they're doing, as they've really made good on 95% of their, not 95%, let me not get ahead of ourselves. They've made good on a lot of their jump shot opportunities, and Montague Wright continues his hot streak here in the second half. Another basket, very pretty one. Full court press by the Cardinals, easily beaten. Bass Knight now controls the ball. He's going to slow it down. He's got about 15 seconds on the shot clock, probably going to use all of that as he goes down to Wiggins. Wiggins moves away from the baseline, spins off his defender, tries to put it in for 2 points. It's no good, but it does get him the opportunity for 2 free shots from the charity stripe.
That was a very pretty move there in the post. I thought that was going in for sure, but luckily he's going to get a chance at free throws.
Now Wiggins is as I said, he's a 6'8", 215-pound freshman. He's from Suffolk, Virginia. Went to Kings Fork High School in Virginia. And I think the Bryant Stratton Bobcats are very happy to have him on this team moving forward into next year, as we've seen some very impressive things from the big man here in this second half.
Nothing like a big man to help solve the problems when, especially you have a mismatch in the paint, as I'm sure he's probably a tough matchup.
Montague Wright passes it over to Fowler. Fowler now controls the ball, looking for somebody to flash. Finally puts the ball down on the floor. Passes it over to Farley. Farley trying to make something happen. Gets the ball poked away, but comes back up with the loose ball. Farley passes it over to Galloway, who passes it right back to Farley. Farley spins off his defender, puts it in, and he's fouled. That's a really good possession if you're in the first half. I think the Cardinals kind of want to maybe speed things up there, as that shot came very, very late into the shot clock. But regardless, Farley will have an opportunity to cut into this lead. It's at 65-51 with just under 11 minutes left here in this game.
Yeah, there was only 1 second left on the shot clock once that shot was actually up in the air. So luckily it actually hit the rim. If it didn't and that foul weren't called, it'd be going the other way.
Farley makes good on the first free throw attempt. Second coming underway. Makes good on the second one as well. It's now a 12-point game here in this one. Bass Knight passes it up to Anderson. Anderson beating the press, throws it down to Wiggins, but it's stolen by Fowler. Fowler pressing the issue. Doesn't have numbers and finally gets it stolen by Burnell. Burnell over to Anderson. Anderson tries to go up for the shot. It's smacked out of his hand. And I believe he will go to the line for two. Yes, he will. That was in the act of shooting. So he'll go to the line for two foul shots. The Catonsville Cardinals have really been able to cut into this lead here in the second half. It's now a 12-point game, but they just can't get out of their own way, as another foul and another opportunity for free points for the Bobcats.
Yeah, and that foul came after another turnover from Catonsville. And again, that's not something you want to see. You want to try to minimize your mistakes. And the reason Catonsville's in this hole right now is because they haven't done a good job of, like you said, getting out of their own way and minimizing their mistakes.
The press does seem to be working for the Bobcats, or correction, the press does seem to be at least helping the Cardinals defense, as it looks like the Bobcats are having a much tougher time getting the ball into the paint, much tougher time making good on those easy shots. Anderson misses that, and a block attempt by Galloway, but the refs are going to say he got a little bit too much hand, as Jerron Burnell will go to the line for two more foul shots. Once again, these Cardinals just can't get out of their own way.
Yeah, you got to try to do a better job of doing really pretty much everything right now. I mean, when you have free throws and they miss them, you've got to grab that rebound and not allow more second chance buckets, because that's just, like you said, getting in your own way.
Absolutely, and Burnell makes good on the first foul shot attempt. Oh, correction, I'm sorry, he missed the first foul shot attempt. Second foul shot attempt is good, and that's 67-53. I was getting a little bit ahead of myself. I knew he was going to make that second one. That's what I was talking about. Nonetheless, Donovan Fowler, or correction, that's Montague Wright controlling the ball for the Cardinals. Passes it over to Henson. Henson tries to get past his man, puts up the floater, no good. It comes down with his own rebound. Correction, Bass Knight ended up coming up with that rebound. And the alley-oop over from Jerron Burnell. That was a deep alley-oop attempt, but they made good on it as Romello Anderson puts in the pretty layup. It's now 69-53 with just under 10 minutes left here to go. Time is not on the Cardinals' side.
Yeah, getting under 10 minutes here, it's gonna start to be increasingly difficult for Catonsville to get back in the game. They need a lot of help to try to cut into this lead, and mostly they need to help themselves. That's the most important thing.
Galloway got the ball down low. He tried to put the shot up, but he was fouled in the act of shooting. He'll go to the line for two foul shots. correction, this is the 1-and-1. He was not fouled in the act of shooting. So it's 69-53 with just under 10 minutes left here in this one. We've seen Galloway get a lot of touches here in this game. Do you think the lack of production from the big man is a problem and why these Cardinals are down here in this game?
Well, I think that's certainly a part of it. You know, I'm a fan of old school basketball, and feeding the big guy is usually an important thing to do. So you got to get him going early.
And Bass Knight with a beautiful play went coast to coast, as my dad would like to say, and puts it in for 2 points. Montague Wright controls the ball, passes it over to Farley. Farley. And before Farley even got the pass off, there's a whistle away from the ball, and J.C. Wright looks like he'll be going to the basket for the 1-and-1 opportunity. It's 71-53 with 9 minutes and 19 seconds left here in this one. Fans, stay tuned with us because after this game, we have Lansing Community College will be taking on your CCBC Dundalk Lions. We're excited for that game, aren't we?
Oh, we're really excited for that game. Dundalk, we saw them last week in action, and they looked really good against a really tough team. Unfortunately, they couldn't pull out the win, but they hung in there. So we're hoping to see them pull out a win tonight.
Now, this is the first opportunity we've had to look at the CCBC Catonsville Cardinals. These two teams, the CCBC Catonsville Cardinals will be playing the CCBC Dundalk Lions at some point here in this season. I think we'll be in store for a pretty good game, don't you think, when that happens?
Oh, yeah, definitely think so. These two teams know each other so well. They're right up the road from each other pretty much, so it's going to be a good game when they get together.
J.C. Wright makes good on both foul shot attempts there. Bass Knight had control of the ball, and the ref's going to say he stepped on the line as he was trying to cut into the basket, and that'll be a turnover by the Bobcats. Really can't afford very many turnovers. Yeah, you got a lead, but it's really not that big. A couple three-pointers, and this game's brand new.
Oh, yeah, brand new ball game. If things go their way, if things go Catonsville's way, my apologies. But, you know, you got to do a good job of getting out of your own way if you are Bryant Stratton. Make sure you know where you're on the floor. That turnover there was probably unnecessary, but regardless, we'll see what happens.
Nice defense on that inbounds play by the Bobcats as Montague Wright really, I think he got that ball out of his hands as quickly as he possibly could, and it was really right before that whistle was about to blow for the turnover. So regardless, they finally do get the ball in on the inbounds play, and Montague Wright is fouled as he brings the ball up, and they are in the 1-and-1, so they will shoot some foul shots. Montague Wright makes good on the first foul shot attempt. It's now 56-71. Just under 9 minutes left here in this one. Now makes good on the second foul shot attempt, does Montague Wright. Now we've seen, like we said here earlier in the second half, we've seen Montague be very, very much more aggressive here in the second half. Do you think they'd be in a different situation if he was as aggressive in the first half?
If him and Farley were gonna put together the points that we're seeing right now, then yeah, I think it'd be a much different ball game if both those guys were in sync.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. It was like Farley was getting all the baskets in the first half for the Cardinals, and it looks like Montague Wright's getting all the baskets here in the second half. So it just seems like this Cardinals team is just a little out of sync here in this game. They played a great game. I think the Bobcats have just played just a little bit better.
Just a little bit better, but you know, there's still time to get back in this game. It's really gonna take some time and effort, but it can happen if both Farley and Wright can get going in the second half. Then I think we're gonna be in store for a closer finish than we would have anticipated coming into the second half.
I think we are absolutely in for a closer finish than we anticipated because this game isn't out of the way. A couple three-pointers, and this game is a brand new ball game. So as the Cardinals talk it over there with Coach White, what do you think he's telling to his players?
Well, I think he's saying a number of things. Number one, we got to keep up the pressure. The press is working when we're forcing turnovers, but not as many as we'd like. So we want to up the pressure on the press. And as far as the up side of the ball goes, take care of the ball, take your shots. Things will start to go our way, guys.
Farley now controls the ball off the inbounds play. Dribbles, step back, puts it up for three. Didn't call glass, so it won't go in, and that will be out of bounds, but it will stay with the Cardinals. I think that's the first three-point attempt we've seen Farley take, right?
It's his second. In his defense, it was a pretty deep three. Calling glass may have helped, but I don't know.
Regardless, the bank wasn't open on that shot, so J.C. Wright will control the ball. Dribbles through his legs a couple times. Oh, you can see that all the way from over here. A look of disappointment on everybody's face around me as Wright had the good idea of picking up his dribble to pass. He just moved his pivot foot a little bit before the pass came out of his hands. So it's a turnover, and the Bobcats will control the ball. White over to Lambert. Over to Jackson. Down low. Oh, welcome to the block party, young man. Refreshments are on the bench because that is Douglas Farley who rejects that shot. Farley into the basket, and he's fouled hard. He'll go down on the ground, but he will have an opportunity to make good on some foul shots as he was fouled in the act of shooting. It's 71-57 here in this one. Really got to make good on their foul shots. That's the best way they can get back into this game, is they really haven't shot the three at that high of a percentage, really haven't even taken that many threes in this game. That looks like a strategic effort by them.
Yeah, I think, free throws are the best way, like you said, to get back into this game, and they're going to have to keep getting to the line. Well, they're in the bonus, so they're going to get to the line regardless. But when they get there, they have to make the free throws count. If Farley can bring out the first half Farley that we saw into the second half, then, I think it's going to start looking pretty good for Catonsville here.
You're absolutely right, because Farley was scoring all the points in the first half, and Montague Wright is scoring all the points here in the second half for the Cardinals. I got a little ahead of myself and thinking that we were calling the Dundalk game, but this still is Catonsville. Farley makes good on the first foul shot attempt. Can't make good on the second one as that's off the front of the iron. The ball will be controlled by the Bobcats. White passes it over to Hextall. Hextall passes it back over to White. White over to Jackson. Back to White. White with the jab step. Gets past his defender. Goes down low, and it's blocked by Galloway. We've had a lot of invitations to the block party. The last invitation was given to Drawn, number 32 for the Bobcats. Ball is now possessed by the Cardinals. Passed over to J.C. Wright. He takes the three, can't hit it. Goes off the side of the rim to be rebounded by the Bobcats. And a nice idea with that pass, just a little above and behind the 6'4" Romello Anderson, as he was unable to come up with that pass. It will go out of bounds at 71-58 with 7 minutes left here in this one. Get back. Henson over to Wright. Wright for three. No good off the front of the rim. It's two straight misses by J.C. Wright here in this second half.
Yeah, J.C. is ice cold from three-point land. He's shot 4, and he's made none so far. So either he's got to find better looks from three or find better shots in general to take them threes, because those are not helping right now.
Jackson over to White. White decides to go away from the screen, goes over, passes to Jackson in the corner for three. He says, J.C. Wright, that's how you do it, young man, as he puts in the three-pointer. It's 74-58. I think we may have jinxed them when we said that they may be in their way for a comeback, because the Cardinals have not been able to make a basket since then, as that is now 3 straight missed three-pointers by J.C. Wright. That time didn't even hit the basket. Coach White is pleading with the referees to say that that ball was tipped, but regardless, possession arrow is back into the favor of the Bobcats, as we've got 6 minutes and 22 seconds left of basketball here in the first game of our doubleheader.
And JC's really struggling right now. Coach sat him down. He's on the bench now, holding his head and more disgusted at this point himself than anything else, I'm sure.
Shaheem Drowan puts in that 2 points there. Let is controlling the ball. Let Passes it over to Montague Wright. Wright over to Galloway. It's with the jab step. Then passes it over to Farley, and Farley is fouled before he gets the ball in the air, but regardless, he'll go to the line and he'll shoot 2 foul shots as the Cardinals are in the double bonus with just under 6 minutes left here to play in this one. Farley shot a lot of foul shots in this game, hasn't he?
Yeah, he really has shot a ton of foul shots, and he's made the majority of them. He's only missed 2 so far, so he's doing this part from the line, and him and Montague Wright are doing their parts overall in this game.
He really cannot put this what may be a loss here for the Cardinals. He really wouldn't be able to put them on Douglas Farley or Montague Wright, because these guys have really been playing their hearts out this whole entire game, as a couple other guys have. But just really, as the whole team has for that matter, they just really haven't been able to get the ball into the net. That basket must be looking like the size of a thimble to the rest of the Cardinals players, as he makes good on both foul shot attempts. Alston now controls it, passes over to Hextall, who passes it over to White. White dribbles. Finally gets something done with a hop step into the lane, but he's blocked by Galloway. Galloway couldn't come up with the loose ball as Shaheem Drowan came up with the loose ball, and he's fouled in the act of shooting. Or correction, I'm sorry, that was number 4, Greg Hextall, and he will go to the line for 2 foul shots. 76-60 with 5 minutes and 30 seconds left here in this one.
It's a 16-point game, so it's not terribly far out of reach, but with 5:30 left, things have got to start to get picked up here for Catonsville.
Absolutely, as Hextall misses his first foul shot opportunity. It's 77-60. Second foul shot, no good as well. And Farley skyrockets up there to get the foul shot, or to get the rebound. Farley now controls the ball. Gets into the lane, he puts it up, and he's fouled, and he will go to the line for 2 points. Really, this is at this rate, we may be playing, maybe 5 minutes and 18 seconds left on the clock, but I think we may be here watching this game for another 15 minutes, because every time down the line, every time down the court, it's a couple dribbles and then it's a foul. It's a couple of dribbles and then it's a foul. This has really become a pretty chippy game, right?
Yeah, it really has. And I mean, if you're Catonsville in this situation, it's probably a good thing, because the clock is being stopped every time and just prolonging the game, giving them longer to formulate a strategy and get back into it.
Farley makes good on his first foul shot attempt, 77-61. Second foul shot underway, good, 77-62. Kind of making an indent in this lead here. It's a 15-point game with an opportunity to cut into this lead even more with a couple three-pointers, but we really haven't seen the Cardinals take many three-pointers, and they haven't made good on their three-pointers that they have taken.
Yeah, they've only made a few, and those have all come from Montague Wright. He's made 3 of them.
And they've all come in the second half, correct? Correct. So, on their way up to the court, the Bobcats, Connie White was fouled, and he'll go to the line for some foul shots. It's 77-62 with 5 minutes and 13 seconds left. First one's good. And he will shoot one more as the Bobcats are in the 1-1. He made good on his first foul shot attempt, so he earns himself a second. White makes good on both foul shot attempts. Fowler will control the ball now, throws it up to Galloway. Throws it over. Farley tried to put it in, but can't. The ball is put in off the rebound by the Cardinals. Full court press, got the tip there, but couldn't come up with the steal. Bobcats really need to get rid of this ball, and they do. They get the ball up the court, but it's stolen. Fowler up the court and couldn't hit it, but he's fouled. It looks like he will go to the line for 2 foul shots as well. It's now 79-64 with 4 minutes and 48 seconds left.
And that was a really, in my opinion, like a really late whistle. It looked like the whistle was blown as he was falling to the floor. And the should have came a lot earlier, but it made it a little more easier to tell what was going to happen there because it looked like the ball was out of bounds at the same time. So I was confused.
I believe since Farley is the one shooting the foul shot, I don't believe that the foul took place on the shot. I believe the foul took place on the rebound. Farley's just shooting 2 foul shots because they are in the double bonus. So it's 79-64. Farley missed that foul shot attempt. The second coming underway, and it's off the back of the rim. But Fowler got the rebound. He couldn't put it in either. But the ball was rebounded by Wiggins, but his foot was on the line, and that'll be a turnover by the Bobcats, and the Cardinals will control the ball underneath their own basket with 4 minutes and 44 seconds left here in this one. Farley puts the ball into the lane, and he's fouled, and he'll go to the line for 2 more. He missed his last 2 foul shot attempts. Let's see if he can make good on his next 2 foul shot attempts.
Yeah, he's going to have to do something to make up for that because they've now had the ball 3 times down here within a few seconds, really, and they don't have anything to show for it. So they've got to start making their shots and getting something to fall.
A quick stoppage in time as the Cardinals sent that ball, a towel onto the court to wipe up that wet spot from where Farley fell down. Farley will take his first foul shot, and it's good on that foul shot attempt. It's now 79-65 with 4 minutes and 40 seconds left. Farley, the second foul shot attempt, no good. That was off the rim. Rebounded by the Bobcats. Wiggins brought that rebound down, passes over to White. White gets past and is called as he extended the hand there on that play, and he will be called for the foul. They'll call a foul on that every time, young man. You can't extend that arm to its fullest. So it's 79-65 with 4 minutes and 32 seconds as a timeout taken on the floor. What's the key to this game, Byron?
Well, for Bryant Stratton right now, they're not helping themselves with all these turnovers they've had recently and giving Catonsville those second and third chance buckets, but with all the free throws probably just shot down here. So they've got to minimize those second chance attempts. And for Catonsville, you're going to want to try to get more of those second chance attempts and keep getting to the free throw line and keep extending this game out more. The longer you do that, the more of a chance you have to get back in this game.
It's well said there, Byron. Very well said. As teams take their way back out of the court, we have a little on-court demonstration from Coach Graves about what he wants his point guard to be doing on the next possession. Nonetheless, the Cardinals will have possession of the ball. Montague Wright passes the ball into Donovan Fowler. Fowler gets the play from the bench. Still some time some time left in this game to get back into the game. Henson puts the ball into the basket, and he's fouled with an opportunity to score 3 the old-fashioned way.
That was a really nice layup there by Henson. Amazing body control we saw there. Just, controlling his body and changing his shot, no less, in the air.
And absolutely beautiful play there by Henson as he got into the lane, absorbed the contact, and put the ball in for 2 points. He's got an opportunity to cut even further into this lead to make it an 11-point game an 11-point game as it's 79-67 with 4 minutes and 20 seconds left.
That body control has in this, but I just want to say I could never do that. Exactly.
I don't think either of us could do that. That's why we're calling the game and they're playing the game. Regardless, basketball is our favorite sport. We're happy to be here calling the action for you fans. White controls the ball with some fancy dribbling. Now dribbles through his legs a couple times, trying to get past his defender. Finally does. Passes it over to Anderson, who unleashes the shot. It's off the rim. He tips it back to his teammate. Base Knight will definitely try to wind as much time off that shot clock as he can before the shot is want to milk as much clock as you can for the rest of this game if you're the Bobcats. And Anderson puts up that shot, can't make it, and Henson looking to go coast to coast, can't, as he gets it smacked away from him before he was able to get into the paint. But last touched by Bryant Stratton, and the possession arrow will stay with the Cardinals as Montague Wright will be taking this inbounds play.
It's very nice defensive job to knock the ball out of his hands there, and that's what you want to see if you're Bryant Stratton. Keep playing good defense and not allowing them to get inside and get easy buckets.
And a foul away from the ball there is, guess who? Douglas Farley will be going to the line. I think we've said his name a lot here during the broadcast. I think that'll make him happy, as he did want to hear his name called a lot here, didn't he?
Yeah, he definitely did. He came over to us and said, look, when you see my name, make sure you say it with enthusiasm. And you know what? So far, he's given us plenty of reason to do that.
Yeah, and it started right off the bat as Farley made the first basket of the game for the Cardinals on a beautiful layup and went back to the basket for the and one on the first play of the game. But Farley, on his first foul shot attempt there, misses it. Had an opportunity to cut this lead into single digits, but now he just wants to make it a 10-point lead here with his second foul shot. Foul shot is underway, and he makes good on that one, as it's now 79-69, or correction, 79-68 with 3 minutes and 30 seconds left here in this one. White got trapped, finally got his way out of it. Burnell passes it down to base right. Passes it up to White. Very good defense being played by the Cardinals. White passes it down to Anderson. Anderson misses the shot. Lambert's there for the 2 points on the putback. It's 81-69. And the Cardinals turn it right over as they're trying to push the ball up. Anderson has the ball down low, goes under, and tried to go up with it, couldn't hit it, and Henson has the ball, passes it up to Farley. Montague Wright spins off his defender and puts it in off the glass. Beautiful layup there by Wright. It's 81-71 with 2 minutes and 48 seconds. A 10-point game with that much time on the clock is a very, very doable comeback here for the Cardinals. What's the key to making that comeback a reality?
Well, I think one of the keys is, as always, taking care of the basketball and making the most of your chances when you have it, because those are easy buckets you got to get back in the game, and really just playing defense. Their defense has really picked up here in the second half in intensity and pressure, and it's forced Bryant Stratton to play much, much faster than they would like to. Even though Bryant Stratton is moving the ball at a fast pace, Catonsville's defense is doing a better job of forcing them to play, like I said, faster than they want to. So if you can continue to do that and force them to make turnovers, you can get back in this game pretty easily.
I think the biggest key to getting back into the game so far for the Cardinals has been defense. They've really stepped up their defensive pressure. You've seen a definitely a different team here in the second half than you did in the first half. Let's see if they can complete the comeback. As I did, like I said earlier, I spoke to Coach White of the Cardinals at halftime, and he said the key was going to be pressure and protecting the ball. And that's something that they've done, and I think that's reflected in the score here in the second half for the Cardinals.
And they've definitely done a much better job than in the first half of doing that, because in the first half, it was looking really ugly. It's like 27-9 game or something crazy like that, and it wasn't looking good for Catonsville, but they've worked their way back, and they're only down 10, which, like you said, Aaron, is very manageable.
White passes it up to Burnell. Burnell tried to dunk it home, but he will be fouled. I think Galloway thought he was going to be taking a charge there, but that got the whole crowd pumped up. That got this broadcaster pumped up too. He had an opportunity for a SportsCenter's top 10 plays there, but he'll take the foul shots instead, that's for sure.
He'll take the foul shots, but man, oh man, if that dunk went in, this place would have exploded. That would have been a huge N1 opportunity right there and given Bryant Stratton some serious momentum. Because let me tell you, there's nothing like a poster of that caliber to get your team going.
Hey, he went to Jerron Burnell, he went down to the basket, and he went down to the hole with authority. But he could not make good on the dunk, but he definitely will take the foul shot opportunities as a good secondary option.
Right, consolation. Burnell there. He went in there with almost no work off of human life.
Very good call there. I think you're right. Burnell didn't make the first foul shot attempt, but makes good on the second one. It's 82-71 with 2 minutes and 35 seconds left, and a risky pass there by the Cardinals. We're looking to get the sign from the referee, and looks like the possession arrow will stay with the Cardinals. That was a very risky pass if you are the Cardinals, but regardless, it works out in their favor as they have the ball underneath their own basket with 2 minutes and 36 seconds, now down by 11.
Yeah, here's a chance for a quick bucket and getting your defense set up here. You got to get these buckets in quicker succession here. Make the most of your possessions at this point. Take care of the ball, priority number one.
Farley, deep three, takes it and swish! After that three, put the guns in the holster as the Guns were blazing on that three-pointer. It's 82-74 with 2 minutes and 20 seconds left in this one. And a beautiful play by Romello Anderson to get into the basket, put it in for two, and he'll go to the line for a three-point opportunity. He says, you can get three the easy way. I can get three the hard way, young man. And he's had an opportunity to make this a three-point play.
And you know what? Sometimes it's how you got to do it. Answer right back with 3 points of your own. Granted, it's going to get his the hard way, but, you know, still, momentum builder nonetheless.
They're going to say no basket on that foul shot attempt as it was a lane violation. And that's got to be disappointing if you're Anderson, as you wanted that extra point. But regardless, it's a 10-point game now with 2 minutes left here in this one. Jerron, Montague Wright gets into the basket, puts up the two-point floater over his defender's head, and the outstretched arm of the Bobcats defender. It's now an 8-point game with just under 2 minutes, and a timeout is taken by the Bobcats. We've seen the Bobcats surrender a pretty big lead in this one, as at one point they were up by 20 points. How do they hold on to this lead?
I think right now the biggest thing is just try not to play at Catonsville's pace, because as we said earlier, Catonsville's defense has really come alive in the second half and forced Bryant Stratton into some big time mistakes that they didn't need before, and they really don't need them now. With the lead dwindling, you really want to make sure that, like I said, ball control is priority number one. So there's that, and making your shots when you get them. It's simple as that, really.
It really is, and the Bobcats have made a decent amount of their shots here in the second half. It just seems that the Lions have made more of them and played better defense as they've just caused more turnovers here in the second half. And there's a tale of two halves, really, for the Cardinals, as they turned the ball over a lot in the first half, and now they've been the ones causing the turnovers a lot in the second half.
Yep, and that's, something that Coach talked about, putting the pressure on Bryant Stratton, and they've done a good job of doing that. So with these last 2 minutes left, we're going to see if the pressure is going to get to Bryant Stratton and they're going to crumble, or if they're going to rise up and close the game out.
White now controls the ball for the Bobcats. You want to see these guys milk as much time off the clock as they can, but White decides to take the easy points instead, as he now makes it a 10-point game once again. And a foul on the steal attempt there by White. You can look at the look of disappointment on White's faces. I think he thought he had a clean steal attempt there, but the referee saw it the other way. And like I said earlier in this game, that's the only opinion that really matters in this game, right?
Yep, that's very true, very, very true. Usually the guys in the white and black shirts are ones keeping order, and they're doing a good job tonight, I think.
Yep, the guy in the zebra stripes is usually the guy who makes the big decisions here in this game, and fouls have really come into a huge play here in this one, as Fowler makes good on his first foul shot attempt. Fowler didn't start this game for the Cardinals, but he's played a lot of minutes here, especially here in the second half, especially after starter number 11, Lett, went out with 4 fouls. Fowler makes good on both foul shot attempts. It's now an 8-point game. Once again, Anderson over to Burnell. Passes it over to White. White gonna milk as much clock off this much time off this clock as he possibly can. Dribble handoff to base right. Over to Anderson. Anderson splits two defenders, tries to put it up, can't, gets his own rebound, and waiting for the foul call, and it will be a foul call on, I believe, Montague Wright. Yes, it will. The foul will be called on number 0, Montague Wright. Really been the hero of the second half for the Cardinals, but an ill-advised foul by the Cardinals as it's now 86-78, and the Bobcats had an opportunity to make it a 10-point game once again, but Anderson misses his first foul shot attempt and now only has an opportunity to make it a 9-point game.
And Anderson's been kind of cold in the second half here. I mean, he just made that one, but before that, he missed his last 3. So
Anderson makes good on the second foul shot attempt. It's now a 9-point game with just over a minute left here in this one. Fowler gets past the defender, picks the ball up, gets into the lane, puts it up for the layup, but he couldn't hit it. White and the Bobcats have numbers. They pass it up to Brunell, but they decide to slow the pace down and bring the ball back out to the midcourt and try to milk as much time off this clock as we can, because you just heard it from Rocco, our PA announcer. This will be the final minute of that will be a turnover by the Bobcats. The Cardinals will control the ball in the inbounds play. Montague Wright passes it over to Donovan Fowler, who passes it right back to Montague Wright. Pull up, three-pointer, no good off the side of the rim. And a nice play by the Bobcats to save that possession and keep it in. Anderson spins off his defender, puts up the layup attempt, but couldn't hit it. And it's another possession that'll end without points. I don't think it really matters at this point, as it looks like the Cardinals have this game in full control, as it's 87-78. With about 30 seconds left in this one. The shot clock has been turned off, and the Bobcats will probably hold possession of this ball to the end of the game.
And that last shot 2 possessions ago by Montague right there looks really forced to me. I understand it's getting late, but you still got to try to take good shots.
Base Knight controls the ball. Now finally puts the ball down on the court. We've got 5 seconds left, and it looks like all she wrote. If the fat lady was here, I'd start asking her to sing, but that's all she wrote here for the first game of our doubleheader. The final score is 87-78. Bryant Stratton came out on top. Have any final notes on the game, Byron?
Well, it was a really good second half. Comeback attempt by Catonsville. Unfortunately, with the huge hole they dug themselves into, it was really difficult for them to get back in the game. And I think that huge hole, just really, like I said, made it difficult to get back in the game. And it was a good effort, though.
Now, please stick around with us, fans, as our next game will be Lansing Community College against your CCBC Dundalk Lions. And stick around for a little bit longer, as I'll be interviewing the head coach of the CCBC Catonsville men's basketball team, Coach White. All right, I'm standing here with the head coach of the CCBC Catonsville Cardinals, Coach Great White. Now, what did you see from your team as they really cut into that big lead in the second half and almost made the comeback complete? What did you see from them?
Well, I probably should have put a little bit more pressure on them in the first half. We put pressure on in the second half, and we cut a lead of 20 points down to 8, and then it would balloon back up. So it's just little things, making free throws. We missed 15 free throws in the first half, so we came out a little more focused in the second half, but not enough. We came up short tonight.
Now tomorrow, you do have a game tomorrow again with the CCBC Dundalk Lions, if I'm correct. No, Lansing? I should have done some more homework, right? You can give me a pat on the back after this. But what are you looking for in tomorrow's game?
Just come out with some energy. We playing a little short with 9 players. So we expend a lot of energy out here. So we would just have to come in and just keep on fighting and gut it through. And just try to take care of the ball and don't play in their tempo, play our tempo.
Well, I'm looking forward to tomorrow's game, and I really enjoyed today's game. And good luck with the rest of the season, Coach.
Appreciate it.
Good luck, Coach.
I'm Aaron Thomas, and that's the rest for today's game. Stick around for CCBC Dundalk Lions and Lansing Community College.